What I'm about to tell you is going to totally surprise you. How easy it is to acquire land if you're looking, and you don't have to go through all that traditional bank stuff. So stay tuned in this video. I'm going to tell you that, and also I'm going to cover some things you need to understand when you're purchasing land. I mean, let's face it, when you go to a bank, if you've looked at land, the terms aren't very favorable. It's a big risk to banks, and so you're usually going to have to come up with 20 to 50% down to acquire that land, and they're on short term, say anywhere from a year to 5 years, and the rates are fairly high. I think right now we're talking between 10 and 13% in the market we're in right now. But anyway, the way to avoid this, like this person did out here on this land that we're selling out here, they did what was called an owner carry with my seller, and you'll be surprised how many landowners will do an owner carry. And one thing I want to point out, do not let your buyer agent discourage you from asking for owner finance. And I'll just tell you, a lot of those agents feel like they're not going to earn their commission at times and they don't want to ask. But I can tell you, it's just like getting traditional financing. And usually the sellers will pay a buyer agent commission. It all closes the same as any other deal. The title company will handle it. You'll get added onto title. The seller will get added on as a lien on the property as if they're Wells Fargo or whatever institution that would have done it. So just rest assured, it's a normal transaction as long as you have the right parties helping you out with this. And another thing about owner carry financing, the terms are a lot better as they're longer. They can put you on, say, a 25-year amortization I've seen with a 3-year to all the way up to a 10-year balloon where you'd have to pay them off. And like this person, they paid off the owner carry when they took out their construction loan. So that'll all get paid off when you go to build your log home like this person, or there's a home up there that's going to be about $2 million. And so it'll just be regular transaction as if this had a loan on it from a bank. So just again, keep that in mind. Now, a few things you're going to want to know when you're looking at purchasing land, whether on an owner carry or a traditional bank, is land is way different than buying a home in the city or wherever, or anything with a structure on it. Like this lot, it didn't have a structure on it. We just happened to time this one with this cabin going up. But when you go out and look at land, you're going to want to walk the land, try to get a feel for it, and if there are open spaces behind and what's going to go up behind you, how usable is the land, how much expense could it be, say like where we're at up here in the mountains, to flatten it out so it's usable land. Like this lot's on 10 acres, but as you can see, it's a lot of rolling hills. You can see where it drops off right there, and a lot of rocks and stuff. And that's another thing you need to consider when you're buying land in the mountains, are the rocks that you may encounter. And you may have to get somebody to bring some dynamite up to blast areas out so that you can accomplish whatever you're trying to accomplish with your structure. And that can get real expensive real fast. So you're going to want to keep that in mind. Now, another thing you need to consider when you're purchasing land, if it's in the city, for instance, does that land need a well or does it need public water? Usually in the city, you're going to have to connect to the public water, and that can entail a tap fee. And water tap fees can range $40,000, $50,000 just to tap into the public water system. So you're going to want to consider that. And if you're in the mountains, usually you're going to need a well and septic. Those green caps back there, if I can get my camera honed in there, that is the septic system for this structure here. There's the leach field down there, and then the wells on the other side here. And to do a well and septic up in the mountains where I am here in Colorado, you're usually looking at about $40,000 to $50,000. So that's another expense you're going to want to keep in mind when you're purchasing land to develop a home on. Now, another thing you're going to want to consider, beside the thunder and lightning that's going on right now, when you're purchasing land, if it's a big piece of land, maybe over an acre or so, you're going to want to get a survey done on it, or ask the owner if they have a current survey on the property so you can see where all the lot lines are, so that you can go out and get a feel for the lay of the land, I guess, and know where all your boundaries are. And also you're going to want to get full title insurance on top of that, so you can make sure that the land is free and clear of any liens. Also look for encroachments and look for easements. When you're up in the mountains, you get a lot of weird easements where things run over your lot line and you may run over somebody else's lot line. So you're going to want to look and see what those easements are. And one thing with the easements you'll have to consider as well that a lot of people don't consider when they're looking at land is the land landlocked? And a lot of people don't even know what that is. And say, for instance, you have a piece of land that's behind this structure here, and the only way to get to it is to use this driveway here, which is owned by this person's lot. To get there, you're going to have to get what's called an easement to use this driveway to get there if your land is landlocked, because you do not have any other access to it. And keep in mind, that can get real expensive because this owner may know that you really need that easement, so they're going to charge you for it. And some owners may not even give it to you. So I have my whiteboard already with our example. And lot 1 is a lot that another party owns or an entity, as with lot 3 and lot 4. And lot 2, as you can see, as this is the road, there's no access to get to this. So this is why this lot 2 is landlocked. So what you would have to do to get to this lot is you'd have to have the party at lot 1 grant you, say, an easement, as we made right here with the blue lines here, to give you access to basically drive over their property to get to lot 2. And as you can see, that could be sort of a big deal. So you're going to want to do your homework ahead of time, because you do not want to buy a piece of property that's landlocked and find out you can't even get to it at all, because when you go to sell that again, you're going to run into a lot of people that aren't going to want that piece of property either. So always keep that in mind as well. Now, another thing people don't take into account when they're buying just raw land, I know I have this structure behind me, but raw land with no structure on, the property taxes. Usually most municipalities and so forth, they're going to charge you at a commercial rate, which those rates are a lot higher than residential until you get a structure on that property. So keep in mind that your property taxes, what I want to say your carrying costs, are going to be high if you're in an area with some high taxes, because you're going to be paying taxes at a commercial rate until you get that structure up. Land can be a great investment as long as you do your homework ahead of time. And if you see a piece of land that seems to be a great deal, then really do your homework, because there may be a reason why that piece of property is such a great deal. And if you have more questions about purchasing land and everything that's involved with it, my contact information is down below. Click the link. And also, if you're looking for an experienced agent out in your area, click the link as well, and I can set you up with an experienced agent that can help you out. I'm David Novak, and we'll see you again next time.